welcome to the show. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new review. Don't forget, from now until Halloween, every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to have some new spooky streaming suggestions for you guys to go and check out. I want to do all the work for you. I'm going to take it out of your hands here. If you're just trying to throw something random on, let me do the job for you. I hit all your favorite streaming services and give you a bunch of selections. Some you might have seen before, some new ones, but either way, you can't go wrong here. That's every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But throughout the week, I am still dropping countless reviews in the world of horror, whether it's movies, TV shows, games, books, whatever. You don't want to miss any of that, folks. And the best way to stay on top of all of it is to get subscribed to my Linktree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you get subscribed to my Linktree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, to your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio-only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content, including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page for my horror gaming, including Phasmophobia and The Thing Remastered, and to my Fangoria shop page, where you can enjoy my 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop, including a yearly subscription to the physical magazine. Take advantage of that, folks. Hit that subscribe button, as the more followers I get, the more content I can put out for all of you. So what are we talking about here tonight? Well, recently I dropped my review for VHS Beyond, which I call the best film in the VHS franchise, and y'all know that I absolutely love anthology horror, and so a movie popped up on Prime Video recently. It's one that I've been meaning to rewatch for a while, and it's even still in my saved items list on Amazon, because I've been trying to buy the DVD for a bit because it wasn't really available on streaming for the longest time, and that DVD was going for an arm and leg. But guess what? It is free right now on Prime Video, so you can go check this one out. Tonight I am talking Campfire Tales. Folks, let's not waste any time. Let's jump on into things here. If you haven't seen the trailer for Campfire Tales before, this focuses on a group of young adults who, after getting into a car accident and waiting for emergency services, decide to pass the time by telling each other scary stories based on popular urban legends. In multiple tales, multiple scary stories, will they make it through each one? And that's it. This is an anthology horror movie, folks. Now, right off the jump, I have to point out the fact that somebody somewhere had to know that between the release of Campfire Tales in 1997 and Urban Legend in 1998, that we were going to get our fair share of urban legend horror. Now, in 1998's Urban Legend, which is a fantastic classic slasher of the 90s, that focused on a serial killer going around and murdering people at her college based around urban legends. There was nothing really supernatural around it. There weren't any kind of monsters or anything. The whole idea, if you haven't seen it, and it's a great film, I highly recommend it, was that Rebecca Gayhart's character, who turned out to be our murderer, was seeking revenge for the death of her boyfriend not too long before the events of the film itself. And the motif of the killer killing people based around these urban legends was great, because we had gotten Scream not that long before. Obviously, we had had a number of slashers in the 70s and the 80s as well. And Urban Legend offered something new, to where the motive, honestly, very basic, getting revenge for the death of a loved one, but framing everything around urban legends added so much to the scares of that film. Now, Campfire Tales, that came out a year prior to that, actually is doing most of the same thing, but it's taking out that serial killer element from the story. So instead, we are getting a lot of the same urban legends that are told in the film Urban Legend, but they're told for at face value. Like, literally, if it involves a monster, there is a monster. If it involves a killer, there is a killer. If it involves some kind of supernatural magic, that is involved with this as well. And quite honestly, this is a great double feature to put back to back with Urban Legend because of it. Because, folks, honestly, Campfire Tales is an absolute blast. We get, what is it, 5 stories? I guess technically it's 4 stories, because one of the 5 that they claim is the wraparound tale between it all. And as I said during my VHS Beyond review, one thing that I feel that can sink or swim anthology horror is not having a good wraparound segment. And that's why VHS Beyond was so fantastic, because the wraparound segment they used in that, framing it as a documentary looking into proof of aliens, that was the best story that they've told over the last 12 years. Campfire Tales, again, it's based around these kids who got in an accident that are telling these stories to each other, and that device being told to us works so well. It's easy to actually get immersed in the stories that are going on and feeling like you're there with those kids. I mean, it helps that it was cold the other night when I was watching this, but you kind of start feeling those chills as the characters start getting colder with each subsequent story that they're telling. Now, are all the stories phenomenal? Not necessarily, but the thing is that the acting in them is right on the level. And there's a lot of names in here that you should be familiar with, because this movie hit pretty much right before a lot of these folks were catching their big breaks and were going to end up being these bigger names in Hollywood. Amy Smart, James Marsden, Christine Taylor, Christopher Masterson, Ron Livingston, Glenn Quinn, Jacinda Barrett. Like, there's a lot of memorable folks in this. And I remember I saw this years and years and years ago. Matter of fact, it might have actually been in the late 90s on like HBO or something like that. And I hadn't seen it since, because again, distribution of this has been terrible ever since then. There was an original DVD release, and that has long gone by the wayside. And now that it's on streaming, you absolutely have to catch this one. Now, it focuses again on very specific urban legends. Like I said, the man with the hook on the hand that's terrorizing a couple down at Lover's Lane. A couple that are on their honeymoon that stop in a secluded area in the middle of the forest only to find themselves being terrorized by a monster. People Can Lick 2, about a pair of siblings that end up being terrorized by a killer in their neighborhood that finds his way into their home. And The Locket, about a young man who ends up stranded after a rainstorm at a young woman's house, only to find out that something spooky and mysterious is going on with her and her father. Now, it's obviously a little bit more complicated than that, but each of these segments, with the exception of maybe the hook, gets enough time to really give you a good setup and a good payoff for that. And what I very much enjoy, because I don't really want to reveal the twist on this one, especially because there's a good chance you will work out the twist in this film before you even hit the end of it. What I really enjoyed about this was the fact that, again, all these stories are very much taken at face value. When they're telling these stories, these kids are absolutely terrified hearing them back. And I think that gives it a very different tone, again, from something like Urban Legend, because in Urban Legend, that movie is very much a meta presentation a la Scream, where the kids are smarter than what they likely would really be. They know about all these scary stories, and in some cases, they're smart enough to avoid the things that are going on. In this film, however, though, that's not the case, and I love that, because again, it does set it as this was a horror film back in like the 70s or the 80s, before all of our kids got a little bit smarter and started seeing all the horror movies that have been out at the time. In terms of quality, I think that they're all winners, honestly. I wish the hook, again, had a little bit more expanding on it, only because all of the other stories involve something fairly terrible happening to one, two, or more of those characters. And the hook leaves you wanting just a little bit, because it's kind of like it's giving you a little bit of an appetizer almost to let you know where the rest of the movie is going to go. But damn it, because I love Amy Smart and James Marsden, I wish I could have gotten just a little bit more with that one, honestly. Now, most of these tales will not end up being new to you if you know your horror mythology and your legends, and you've heard even one or two urban legends in your life, and that's going to bring the enjoyment up. And if you're not familiar with this at all, it's a pretty solid collection of tales. Again, the setup for it works great. The wraparound story, when it pops back in, keeps you engaged and keeps you immersed in everything that's going on. And each story is different enough from the last one that you're getting different kinds of horror in each of these. And again, that works really well. You don't always have to have your horror theme to one particular type, like it's all monsters, it's all slashers, all ghosts, whatever. The fact that they change it up in this one gives you a chance to really enjoy maybe one story over the other, and you can have a favorite, but they're still all really good as well too. Folks, you gotta go check this one out if you love you some anthology horror. You can go and check Campfire Tales out right now on Prime Video, and let me know in the comment section for a chance to win an Abigail Funko Pop. What tale here was your favorite? Was it the hook? Was it the honeymoon? Was it People Can Lick 2, the locket, or maybe the wraparound story, the campfire? Let me know in the comment section, folks, for a chance to win that Abigail Funko Pop. That's going to do it for me tonight. Hit that subscribe button, though, because I got more great reviews coming your way. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Boy here is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there. Get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and the one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T-Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.